You completed your CMP exam. You walk out and then you start your assessment. Did the CMP exam meet your expectations? Were you able to achieve your 3 corresponding objectives? Were there any irregularities? Were there any omissions or miscommunications? Your answer to those 3 questions will determine your next steps for the follow-up. So welcome back. My name is Mike. I am a 28-year Army combat veteran, but also served as a county veteran service officer for several years. And today we're going to talk about part 3 of a 3-part series on the CMP exam, the follow-up. Part 1 was shaping and preparation for the exam. Part 2 was the execution. And today is part 3, follow-up. And if you've not seen the other 2 videos, I would encourage you to review those. Note, as before, this is not legal advice, it's just me sharing my knowledge and experience as a veteran who's gone through the process, but also as a county veteran service officer. So let's get started. You've gone to the exam. Before that, you prepared and you shaped it as much as possible. Now, when you walk out, you've done the assessment. You've assessed, did it meet your expectations? Did it meet your 3 corresponding objectives? And briefly, those are, were you able to point to the examiner the actual medical diagnosis that's in your claim, in your files? Were you able to show the evidence, to include articulating the evidence of the impact of the disability on your daily life, average day and worst case? And 3, the service connectivity. Were you able to guide the examiner to show him where the evidence is in your claim of how A, your service caused B, and as the opportunity presented itself, to better articulate maybe the conditions, the injury, the incident, the exposure that created the disability that you're claiming. Now, if you're pleased and your expectations were met, obviously there is no action for you to take. If you identified omissions, irregularities, or it didn't meet your expectations, your first step, your first action is to turn your mental observations into a written document. So very briefly, on one sheet of paper, just write down first the details of the CMP exam, your name and information if you need to present it later, the doctor's name, the location, the time, duration, and then sort of write down what irregularities or issues that you may have had. Note, by meeting your expectations and also your objective is not to convince the examiner to agree with your view of your claim. It's to get the examiner to incorporate and identify the evidence that you have presented when they make their decision. The examiner generally will not talk to you about his views on your actual claim because he's not finished. He still has to read through your file, go through the evidence that he's collecting during the exam, and maybe the evidence that you presented him on that day before he can do his final write-up and present it to the VA. So your expectations should be that, did you have the opportunity to present the evidence, not did you convince the examiner to agree to your claim or not. So after you review that and you either assess it that you need to take the next step or not. So the next action that's available to you is to actually request the CMP exam results. These will normally be available in about 1 to 2 weeks' time after the examiner's had time to write everything up and send it back into the VA. You can request your CMP exam results by a Freedom of Information Act, a FOIA request to the VA. That is VA Form 20-10206. And I'll put a link in the description and a link in the actual comments below. The FOIA request is very simple. It's basically your information as the veteran, but also it gives you options of what you want to obtain. Your C file, your claims file, you can claim your C&P exam, your DD-214, and other records that the VA may have. It gives you about 5 or 6 choices. Note, the more blocks you check, the longer it's going to take the VA to compile those requests together and send them to you. So if you're only interested in looking at your C&P exam results, only put down that in the selection. And again, as always, make sure you sign and date the form and send it in to the VA. The address is actually on the form. So that is action 2. So once those results come in, and it may take 2 to 3 weeks for those to actually come in, and that's after the 2-week period that it's going to take for the examiner to complete their file. Those will be sent to you, and then you, along with your county VSO or VSO or your designated representative or yourself, can go over those and determine if there's anything significant. No, the next action that's possible to take is you write a statement. It's not a complaint, it's a statement that you're pointing out discrepancies, omissions, and different details about the C&P exam that may influence the actual decision. So these have to occur in a quick sequence because the actual decision from the rating official will be coming forth within 1 to 2 months after your C&P exam. So the statement that you can make is basically a 4138 if you want to make your points about the C&P exam and getting those into the rating specialist before they make their actual decision. If not, you can still request your C&P exam results, and then in preparation, if you decide later on, you may want to appeal. So after you've made your decision and which actions to take, you can take all 3, you can take 1 or 2, or take none if you're confident and satisfied with the evaluation. Continue to monitor the status of your claim. Generally within 2 to 3 months from the completion of the last C&P exam, the VA should render their decision letter. And I'll go into a series on the VA decision letter in my next series of videos. So in summary, the C&P exam is a critical component of your entire claim. The shaping starts the day you do the intent to file. It helps you prepare and that you complete or execute your 3 corresponding objectives during the exam, and you're prepared to do a follow-up as needed. Again, my name is Mike. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your service. And if there's any other videos or any other topics you would like me to cover, please put those in the comments below. And if this video is of value to you, please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.